G'day, Burke here, and today we're going to do a trader run and look for some cars to wrench, I think. So I'll just come over here. I'm not going to be needing the auger or the nail gun probably. So I'll grab you and you, put you on the belt, and I think that's everything that I want to sell. Cool. So just got all my stuff going now. Dug down yesterday after harvesting all the bodies up the top. I've dug down into there just for sand and oil shale, and I've found some nitrate as well. So just thought I'd let you guys know that. So I just need to find a coal deposit, which I'll probably just go out in the desert and harvest it. Sorry, the plains biome, there's heaps of them out there. So yesterday, the Horde night, or last night, the other night, you guys would have seen what happened there, and it didn't go terribly well. Now that's not because they couldn't detect me, so that was the only thing that I was worried about. Like, I was a bit freaked out that they weren't even going to know I was there, but they could. So I think that when I came up on top, this whole area was absolutely covered in zombies, most of which were dead. Only a few were left alive that I quickly killed off, but I'm thinking the spikes were the reason that the pit failed. So I'm going to get rid of the spikes, and then we'll see what the next horde like's like. I'm not going to keep this playthrough going for too much longer because it's not what I was originally after. Might as well call into this trader here on the way. Like, my original plan was sort of to have something straddling the pit, a base straddling the pit, but because I was digging out down there, I suspect that's what it was anyway, it fell down, and I ended up having to do my base down in the bottom there, just like I always do, and that's not what I was after. So I'm probably going to start another playthrough after this. But I don't know how far I'm going to get before Alpha 17 turns up, but at the end of the day I just sort of figured that it might be well, I've got some other ideas that I would like to go through, and
didn't let the dead bother you here.
this one here's sort of a, well, it feels a bit like a bus to me. It's not what I was after. Shotgun parts what I want, but I want purple. Nothing there. Cool.
Time to move on.
It sure is. Yeah. So that's, I just sort of wanted to explain that. I do want to get the pit nailed out though. So I'm probably going to keep this going for probably another two horde nights, I think. Day 35 and day 42 horde night, just to make sure, at least anyway, because I've got the few zombies coming into the pit. It's not really cutting it, so I want to get the horde night decent. I do want to perfect the pit because it's something I haven't done before, and then I can have a go at doing another base above. Like, I want an above ground base basically, and a pit for the horde night, which is sort of opposite to what I've always had. So I can use the pit to start a mine or whatever for iron, whatever it is that I need, but I do want that above ground base for just because I've always had below ground bases, so it will be nice to have something that's above ground for a change and to get good at that. And like I said, I'm not sure how far I'm going to get before Alpha 17 kicks in, but I'll give it a go anyway. So what I'm looking for today is shotgun turrets. And I don't know why I'm doing that, because I don't really need it. I'm going to be quitting the playthrough. I'll buy that machete blade anyway. I'm going to be quitting the playthrough before I need them, so I'm not quite sure why I'm going through with it, but whatever. It gives me a break from building. Which can get a bit monotonous if you keep doing too much of it.
Much obliged, stranger.
So we want to head round there. Cool. Sweet, here we are at the next trader. Yeah, so my usual plan with weapons and things is to get the old exploding crossbow bolts and that going, but there's not much point to that really. Nothing there, I don't think. Yeah, there's not really much point to that now that I'm not, now that I'm getting the pit going. The exploding crossbow bolts are really handy for eliminating the zombies when you're up above them, like in a pillar style defense. But for a pit, it's enclosed. I can get them with the shotgun just as easily, or the machete, or the club. I have no need really for exploding crossbow bolts, and in fact, it's probably going to cause me a lot of trouble if I was to do that, because of the enclosed space. So I'd be more likely to injure myself, I think, than anything else. So having exploding crossbow bolts when you're doing a pit design probably isn't the optimal way to do things. If you've got a shotgun, it's going to be way more effective against cops anyway, I think. Especially once you start getting those solid slugs going. They do insane amounts of damage. Jeez. Oh, it's going to hurt. Yep. Awesome. So, that's 4 traders in under 4 hours. Would have been even less than that, but one of the things I am really looking forward to in Alpha 17, and that is the collision.
Stranger, I've got the best deals in Navisgain.
Incredibly frustrating driving through that desert, man. Really, really bad. So this is restock tomorrow anyway. I probably should have left it for tomorrow. What have we got here? Nothing that I want. Been on the lookout for some shorts, but haven't seen any of them for a long time either. Oh, well, that's the trader undone.
Be seeing you.
So I might as well go and rent some cars now. Might as well pop back down into this little township we drove through before. Just make sure there's no one around me. Well, I'm pretty stoked now. Like, the trader runs were an all-day thing before I had the mini bike, and now I can knock them out. Knock them out in a few hours in game time, so I'm pretty stoked about that. Speed things up considerably. And the only thing that's sort of different, I think I only changed like 1 letter. Or might have been a number, and it's so different. It's a graveyard just there, I think. They usually, I found anyway, just full of rubbish. I don't think I normally finding anything interesting in them. So we don't want to go that way. Not really after the broken down ones. They don't. Broken down ones are kind of handy if you're after just like scrap iron and fuel. But if you actually want decent resources, I think you can still get headlights off them though, but yeah, mechanical parts I suppose. Short iron pipes, so you still get a fair bit out of them, but yeah, I think electrical components you need to get off either the first or the second stage. I don't think you get much useful out of the first stage either. Nice. Might as well come over here and finish off these ones. Considering I scrapped a fair few cars, you know, shortly after the game started when I got a couple of wrenches, I'm surprised by how many I can see around here that are in fairly good nick. Like I obviously never made it here, I obviously just went along the road there and got everything that I needed from there. I must have got the engines I needed fairly quickly, I guess. Like all the cars have been searched. What have we got? Still nothing interesting. See, like, it's a bit weird. Like I searched, sorry, I wrenched a few cars, you know, when I sort of got my first wrench in that, or first couple of wrenches, but it didn't take me, like I've wrenched a fair few cars and I haven't even got one engine yet. So it's sort of funny how that luck goes, and obviously the wrench was a lot lower quality too. It was a yellow wrench. We've got a couple of batteries, I suppose. Might as well carry on the journey, I suppose. Let's see what else I can find. Yeah, I love this game, but I just haven't been feeling it with this playthrough. This playthrough sort of feels like it's been kind of like a failure right from the word go. Like my last playthrough, I don't think I even died once. This playthrough I've died like 3 or 4 times. And the only real positive thing about this whole playthrough that I've found is the amount of animals on here. Like I've had no trouble at all finding meat. Like I managed to get all the things that I was after to get building and stuff like that, but it just hasn't felt right somehow. Bit hard to explain. So I'm hoping my next playthrough I do will be a lot better. Like this one here is mainly a fail. I'm not quite sure why. I think maybe because I didn't have a set plan when I came in. I usually do a lot better when I know what I'm going for. I was going to go into that place, and I still will at some stage, but more for the cloth than the loot. I've seen people go through those places, and I've been through them a few times myself. And the loot's not wow in there. I think the big military installations is where you want to go to hit the good stuff, but I don't think that place has much good stuff in it, but it has heaps of cloth, so let's carry on. I'll say those are a hell of a lot of water. If those are water towers, unless that one over there is a water tower, it looks different to those ones. I just assume they'd all be water towers. Like I guess if you make a little hole and then smash them down, probably find water come down in them maybe. I'm not sure. But I have to say, I'm starting to get excited about starting a new playthrough now, I think. Wandering horde over there. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to starting another playthrough, just because I think this one here's sort of worn out. Didn't go anywhere near the way I planned it to go, and certainly doesn't have the viewer count watching it either. So I kind of think that, yeah, I think we've been through all this bit here now. Yeah, I kind of think that starting a new playthrough will be a better idea after I've ironed out the pit, because I think that was part of the problem. I had no idea what I was doing, and I changed my mind 2 or 3 times after I started the playthrough as well as to what I was going to do in terms of horde structures and bases and things. So I think having a set plan and just getting it done is a good idea as well. But there's so many different things I want to try out in this game. Like, you know, I've never used a prefab before. I've always just built my own thing. So finding a nice little single-story house and maybe setting that up for a horde night. But I guess you could do that, you know, while you're gathering up resources for your main base, I suppose. Because I mean, you could use the prefabs probably the first, depending what type of building it is, for the first 1 or 2 hordes. But once you start getting a bit further along, they're just going to shred the house, and there's going to be nothing left. And I've never really liked them because they don't feel, they just don't feel secure to me, the houses, like, because there's so much wood in most of them, they'll get shredded in minutes by a decent horde. So I could go in there. I want some shotgun parts, but don't really care that much. Not important enough. Like I said, I've been neglecting my resource harvesting, so see if that'll help keep the temperature down. Yeah, been neglecting the old resource harvesting, so I need to get some oil gun and mechanical parts and what have you. Main reason I didn't do it a little bit earlier was that I really wasn't sure if this pit idea was still going to work or not. But now that I'm confident that it will, like, they definitely detect me all the way down there. I think as well as those spikes, I think I'm going to get rid of the ladders as well, because I was watching them when I come up on top. And they just sort of, they were swimming out onto the ladder. They weren't using them and running straight off. I actually think the ladder may also be another bad idea that was holding it up. So I think if I get rid of the spikes in the ladder, if that works, I'm not even going to worry about the, what's that worth? Yeah. I'm not even going to worry about the day 42 horde. I'm just going to do the day 35 horde, and if it's successful, then I'm going to have another go, but doing a better job this time around. But I think, geez, he gave me a heart attack. He must have walked straight off the roof, did he? One hit wonder. Yeah, so I think before I start the next playthrough, I'll probably I want at least 2 or 3 different strategies, because a big part of the problem with this, like this playthrough here specifically as well, is that I have like a strategy that I employ when I first start a game, and it involves finding the right the right area and the right terrain, and I didn't find that. I was forced to set up camp somewhere where I didn't want to, and that sort of caused a bit of a big problem for me, and just sort of slowed me down right from the word go. So I think too many mistakes were made in this playthrough, and this will probably be the last episode that I do before Horde Night. Actually, I don't want them. Sorry, I'm just a little bit nervous because I keep seeing these. Every time I'm around this area, I seem to get swamped with vultures. So I'm just keeping an eye out in the sky for them because I've seen them up there. Jeez, almost got those businessmen. I hate these guys because they're so quiet. You just don't know. They don't make any noise, and you'd never know they're there until what have I got that's... Yeah, you're on me now, aren't you, buddy? Where is he? I heard the bugger. I may have to... oh, he's stuck down there. That'll teach you, punk. I'm not going to say no to your feathers. So I'm getting a bit hot now. I may have to call it. I'm not overly fussed about the heat going up there. Got plenty of drink, so no worries there. Though it is going down a bit in the shade. I think I'm going to call it here anyway because yeah, I might just quickly whip back to base, but I'm probably going to call the episode here. There's not a lot of anything happening, and I'm overheating, so actually before we go back, I'll just quickly have a look. Yeah, I haven't really got much much that I would call useful out of this. There was a fair few hours wrenching cars, and I got one engine out of it. Like literally one engine, one crappy engine. So I'll call that one a bust. And anyway, it's not a big deal anyway. I was going to do lighting and all that sort of stuff around the base and just get it looking good, but because I think this playthrough hasn't really taken off or done well for me personally, I think I'm just going to cut it and make sure. I just want to get the pit working properly so that I know what to do in the future instead of making the same mistakes twice. I can do a proper playthrough and maybe help some people that are new to the game, educate them on what to do and how to get things done. But I would still like to do, yeah, I don't know, I wouldn't mind doing a prefab maybe just for the first one or two hordes, but it depends what sort of area. So I might get a couple of plans going in between the playthroughs and just see, like something like that little one over there would be easy to defend. You could just whack the roof off it, and it sort of depends what it's made out of. Like I don't know what you'd even use to upgrade them, but yeah, it'd probably be a lot easier to do than I would imagine anyway, than building your own base. Like, you know, then you can gather the resources that you want for the base that you're after, as opposed to spending a lot of resources building something that you may be tearing down like I did here. That's another thing. Like, you have a look at this, the amount of concrete that I invested into this place. Like, this whole structure was huge, and I had a structure within a structure, and half of it fell down, so I ended up pulling the whole damn thing down. There's no way these are growing yet, are they? No. So anyway, I think I'm just going to call the episode here, and I'll probably see you guys, I think it will be Horde Night next time round, and I'll just give you another quick show off around here. So I'm going to have to put all that stuff down, and yeah, we'll just see how we go on the next Horde Night, and then I'll probably call that into the series, and come up with another one, start one that's hopefully runs a little bit smoothly and is a little bit more entertaining. So this is Bert, signing out.